Hi everybody, today we're going to talk about the distributive property. So we're going to go ahead and start, and first of all let's just think about what does distribute mean. So if I was in class I might say, hey, do you mind distributing the calculators to everyone? So what does it mean when I say distribute the calculators? Distribute means to pass out. So we're passing it out and making sure that everyone gets some. Gets one, let's say one. Oh, we'll say some. So we're passing something out and we're making sure that everybody gets some. So keeping this in mind, what does distribute mean? We're going to talk about how to now use the distributive property to solve equations or expressions. So here I have an expression. My first example, it says 3 parentheses negative 2x plus 1. So over here in this bubble it says, remember, 3 times negative 2x plus 1 is the same thing as saying 3 times negative 2x plus 1. Okay? So where this right here means times. So we're doing multiplication. So I am showing you 3 different ways in order to use the distributive property so that we get how it works. So our first way is the addition. So we have our 3, so we know it's 3 times what's inside. So if we were going to do it additively, we would do negative 2x plus 1 3 times. So we'd have negative 2x plus 1 and negative 2x plus 1. When we add them together, we would have a 3, 2, 4, 6, negative 6x plus 3. Please remember, I have over here, we can only combine like terms. So this would be our most simplified expression right here. Negative 6x plus 3. There's an x, but this one does not have an x. Therefore, we have to leave it in this form. If we were to do it with our algebra trials, we would do as we've been practicing. I'll draw there's my negative 2, and here's my 1. Now I have to do that 3 times. So negative 2, 1. Negative 2, 1. When I add it up together, I see I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's negative 6x plus 1, 2, 3. 3. Our final way is using the distributive property to solve this. In this case, we have our 3 times negative 2x plus 1. So we are taking this number and we are timesing it by everything inside of those parentheses. So I'm doing 3 times negative 2. So 3 times negative 2 equals negative 6. I'm sorry, 2x is negative 6x. And then I can't forget about this guy because he's still inside the parentheses. So I'm doing 3 times positive 1. 3 times positive 1 is equal to 3. I then just combine them as much as I can to equal 6x plus 3. Our next question we have here says a negative sign, 3y plus 7. So when I have this negative sign like this, that is the same thing as saying negative 1 times 3y plus 7. So if I am going to do it this way, I know I know everything. I'm going to put everything together as it is first. So with addition, I have 3y plus 7, but it's negative. So I'm going to actually just change the signs, and it becomes negative 3y minus 7. That's your final answer. So because there was only a negative 1, I changed my signs. Okay. If I was using my algebra tiles, I could do my 3y, so 1, 2, 3, and my 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Again, I see that there's that negative sign in front, which means my signs are changing everything inside. So I'm going to put my x's through all of these. And I get negative 3y minus 7. Now, in this case, the distributive property I think makes it the easiest, but it's up to you on how you want to do it. We write our negative sign, 3y plus 7, and I'm just going to take that negative 1 and I'm going to first times it by 3. So negative 1 times 3. A negative times a positive is a negative, so I get negative 3y. I'm taking that negative sign again and putting it to my 7. So negative 1 times positive 7 is negative 7. And that is my final answer here. Finally, last but not least, I have this. So again, we have a negative sign, but we also have a number. So we're going to do the number first and then change our signs. So the first thing I see is I have a negative 4 times negative 2 plus 3x. So I'll go ahead and I'll first do my negative 2 4 times. Oh, I'm doing the wrong one. Well, we're going to do algebra tiles over here, and then we'll switch to addition on the other side. Sorry about that, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4. So just algebra tiles. Okay. All right, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 sets of negative 2. And I'll go ahead and do 4 sets of 3. Okay, so I've got my 4 sets of negative 2 and I've got my 4 sets of 3. So first, I'll just go ahead and I'll just add them up. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have 8. And then I'll add up these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12x. So, remember I have a negative sign here. So, I'm going to look at my signs. A negative and a negative is a positive. So this is now going to become positive. So I don't have to change anything. A negative and a positive, I'm switching my signs. So it's going to be minus 12x. Again, when we have this a negative sign here, it switches your signs on the inside. But I now go to the addition. So I'm going to do negative 2 plus 3x 4 times. Negative 2 plus 3x. Negative 2 plus 3x. Negative 2 plus 3x. So I'll get my answer, 2, 4, 6, 8. I have negative 8, 3, 6, 9, 12 plus 12. But remember, I've got a negative sign. So I'm going to change my signs. So my final answer is 8 minus 12x. And finally, we'll do the distributive property with this one as well. So we'll do negative 4 times negative 2 plus 3x. I'm going to take my negative 4 times negative 2. Negative 4 times negative 2. Negative times a negative is a positive, and I get positive 8. I'm going to do the same thing and make sure I get to that other number as well. A negative 4 times negative or times positive 3. Negative times positive is a negative. 4 times 3 is 12x. And that is my final answer. I want you guys, before we end, over here to the right, I want you to write when multiplying by a negative, change signs in parentheses. Draw your bubble. And I would just write your example, minus 4 times negative 2 plus 3x. Just so you remember what we're talking about here. All right, so we'll go ahead and go on to your next practice, which is just a practice. So you're still going to do it the same 3 ways, the addition, the algebra tiles, and the distributive property. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. I am going to be here for your help. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.